Hi, and in this revision cast, we're going to be carrying on looking at Paper 1, Question 5. We are going to be focusing on adjectives in this lesson, and I'd like you to make sure that you've fully finished writing that writing task from the end of Lesson 1A. Make sure you've got that done because we're going to start off by having a look at it. I'd like you to underline each adjective that you used in that short right there. Adjectives, of course, being describing words that describe a noun, a thing, like new, big, exciting, colorful, dirty, warm, tired. Underline each adjective that you wrote. Pause the video to give yourself time to do that. Yeah, so how many did you get? I would say for that, if you have fewer than 3 of those in each paragraph that you wrote, or fewer than 5 of those over the entire thing that you wrote, definitely you need to be thinking about writing a lot more adjectives in your writing. So good writing on the GCSE and in real life is clear and specific. And one easy way you can make your writing more specific is by using adjectives. Now, suppose I were to say that right now on the screen, I'm looking at paper. Do you know which paper I mean, which part of the screen I'm looking at right now? Well, probably not. The word paper alone isn't specific enough. There's a couple pictures of paper here. But what if I told you I was looking at white paper? Well, yeah, this is the only white paper on the screen up here. This down here is more of a cream or yellow color. So one really easy way that you can make your writing a lot more specific is by using good adjectives. And so that's going to be the focus on this little lesson here. Just one way that you can improve your vocabulary mark. And give yourself another quick assessment. How ready do you feel for the creative writing question right now? Is this something that you're starting to feel a little more comfortable with, or are you still feeling, pretty uncomfortable with this one? Give yourself a gut check. Well, let's now get into it. Why should we add adjectives? Take a look at this writing here. I walked out of the airplane and I looked around. I was at an airport. There were some people and shops. I could see some signs telling me where to go. Imagine that's the first paragraph of a GCSE response to that question that you were writing about at the end of the last lesson. Describe your first moments in a new country. How good do you think this would be? What grading level would you put this at? Level 1, 2, 3, or 4? Yeah, this is level 1 writing, very clearly level 1 writing. If you were to carry on like this would be putting us on pace to get a grade 1 or a grade 2 here. So what's wrong with this writing? What makes this not great writing? Well, you might be thinking there's no adjectives in it, and you know that this topic is adjectives, and that is true. But the question then is, who cares that there's not enough adjectives? What makes this writing bad that it doesn't have adjectives? The reason it's bad is because that airport being described could be any airport in the world. I mean, take a look. We got 4 airports up on this screen here. 4 very different airports. And if you take a look at what we were saying in the previous slide, that could be any of those. There were some people. Yeah, all of these airports have people in them. There's some signs. Yeah, they've all got signs. Shops. There's shops in all of them. So when you say, I saw people, I saw shops and signs telling me where to go, that doesn't give your reader enough information. It's not enough specific information for them to really imagine what you mean, for them to really imagine the airport that you have in your mind. As a little exercise, pause the video and see if you can come up with 2 or 3 adjectives for each of these airports here. Oh, and if you're curious, this airport up here in the top left, that is from Singapore. Top right is from Manila in the Philippines. The bottom left you might recognize. That's from London Heathrow. And the bottom right is from a little place called Basco in a little island near the Philippines. So pause the video and see if you can come up with some good adjectives describing each of these. Yeah, so instead of saying I was in an airport, we could pop some adjectives in there. And I bet that you know exactly which picture I'm thinking of for each of these sentences here. I was in a tiny, quaint airport. I was in a stylish, elegant airport. A crowded, noisy airport, or a clean, orderly airport. Just by adding those 2 adjectives right before the word airport, we give the reader so much more information, and the reader can imagine so much more in the image in their head. And that is going to increase your mark massively if you carry on doing it throughout the entire descriptive writing. So now let's try to add some adjectives to our own writing. I'd like you to please pause this video and give yourself time to do both of these tasks. If you're accessing this on ALO, Activate Learning Online, down below there is a worksheet that has a longer version of that level 1 sample response that we were just reading. Add some adjectives to that sample response. The first one is done for you. Try to get at least 10. If you're looking for a goal, the high score is 19 places to put an adjective. Once you've done that, go back to your short write, the one that you just did for the previous lesson, and add some more adjectives to it in the same way as on the worksheet. So find some more places where you can stick in an adjective to make your writing pop a little bit more. Pause the video now to give yourself time to do that. Right. Now, what I'd like you to do is, below your writing, answer this one question. How did adding adjectives help make your writing better today? Good luck.